All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about diet um, and a couple of the points that I feel are the more important points about a dialysis diet. Some of these fit to just dieting in general. So, first, I hear a lot of people ask, what can I eat? I need recipes, I need items. What should I be eating and what should I not be eating? Those are good questions. You need to understand in general what it is for you, because it's different for all of us as patients. Some of us have different absorption levels, and some of us give off different amounts of stuff at dialysis, and then we also have different levels of residual function or not residual function. And that's also kind of there for normal people. Like, people have different levels of kidney function and respond to food differently. So first, I think that the single most important thing to pay attention to and understand is that what can I eat is not really the right question to ask. The question is, how much can I eat of what? Because there's many things that once you start getting over in serving size, you will start to have problems. But if you stay within serving size, then you won't have problems. But most people don't know what a serving size is of anything. You got to kind of pay attention, and most of us aren't sitting here weighing out our food, trying to figure out exact serving sizes. So it can be really easy to go over, and you need to pay attention to which foods that you go over on serving size. For example, chips are a very rare one to actually, like, most people sit down and eat a percentage bag of chips, and the bag has like 10 servings in it or something. So you can really kind of jack up your numbers without realizing it through serving size. The other thing that I think that's really important to think about, that I try to explain to patients, is that you really should pay attention to your diet yourself. Like, your labs are not, honestly, they're not even really about your health as much as people think. They're about continuing to prove that you're a dialysis patient to the insurance company. If you were in the hospital and actually had acute numbers, they'd be taking labs much more often. I do have the ability, my doctor's given me a doctor's order for acute calcium labs because I've had a parathyroid reduction and sometimes my calcium can drop. So I don't want to wait till the end of the month. One day out of 30 is not enough for me to know what's going on with my calcium. If I'm having calcium issues, I need to know now. So your labs are really not a very good representation of how you're doing, actually. You could easily be off in your numbers for a large percentage of the month, and then you're good for that one day. Most people try to do better for lab day. I tend to try to do worse. So it really is important to track your own dietary intake, at least to a certain extent, as well as it'll give you feedback. For example, for me, at this point, I'm trying to track calories to make sure that I get enough calories, because I've realized that I have been eating too much at one time and then not at other times, and that heavily affects my energy level. That more intermittent food, smaller amounts more often, equals more energy for me. And as well as that, then some days, and I think most of us patients have this, that we just don't eat enough on some days. So tracking that throughout the day allows me to pay more attention to my overall calorie intake, because that's what's important to me. Tracking your diet in general will give you some insight to what's going on and make a difference in your energy and your health. As well as, then, if you do have a bad treatment, then you can go back and look at what you ate and what was the change. Most people don't connect having a rough treatment to what they ate in the past few days and then go back and study it. I generally don't have fluid issues, but I know that if I eat pizza, I'm probably going to suck down some extra fluid. Like, I better be solidly dry before I have some pizza, or I'm going to suck down a lot of extra fluid and actually come in heavy, which is unusual for me. So tracking your own diet and not just going off of the labs will give you a much better understanding of what's actually going on for you and what's happening. As well as it's really kind of hard to just give a general dialysis diet because it's just different for all of us. So the more proactive you are, the more involved you are, the better you'll feel.